Hey, it's drummer Dave, coming to you from California, quarantine style. So I'm really excited. I've got a new product to show you. I thought a lot about this purchase. I looked at a lot of high-end wood drums over the years. I went to the NAMM show for a few years. There's a lot of great manufacturers out there, and I really wanted something special. I wanted it to sound special, something that I could play, that was handcrafted, that I felt like there was a lot of love that went into the drum. And I was talking to my new friend, Kenny Sheretz, drum tuner to the stars, the singing drum tech, if you will. You got to check out his videos. Kenny's great. And I had a tuning session with him, and we were talking about Wagner McRee out of Texas. And what Wagner's doing is making drums out of mesquite, also pecan, but mainly I was interested in these mesquite drums. Kenny had a couple, you could see them in some of his videos. And I started talking to Wagner, just direct messaged him. He doesn't have a lot of social media out there, but I found him, and he just seemed like a really humble guy who just loved his craft. And I talked to him about a mesquite drum. He said he would actually make one for me, ship it to me, and just charge me the shipping so I could demo it. He shipped it to me. He didn't even charge me the shipping, actually. And I demoed the drum, and I fell in love with it. And it was a big purchase for me, and I feel really good about it. I'm really excited to add it to my collection. I call it Mesquite Betty. That's my name for it. This is it. Mesquite is a really hard wood to work with. It's hard to find good pieces. It's usually dry and cracked, or there's some imperfections that you just can't make a drum out of. So he finds these pieces, and he does a stave style block. You can see the seams on his wood there. Very simple. There's not a lot going on here. There's no fancy inlays or anything added to it. It's just the beautiful mesquite wood with kind of a matte finish to it. He did use a trick throw off. I'm in love with that throw off. It's so cool. It's got these settings on it. You can feel it click in. It's really smooth. It's really easy. It's a great throw off. I've never had one before. He's using the Pure Sound wires, 20 strands, die cast hoops. It's a 14x7 drum. He carves the reinforcement rings. I don't know if you can see that. I know other drum makers have done that. I saw that a little bit at the NAMM show. I think that's really cool rather than gluing in rings. So it's really one solid piece, even though it's staved. I don't think you could steam bend this. I don't know. I've never seen mesquite before. It's a beautiful sounding drum. I'll play some samples of it, some at a show, and some things I just did at home. And you can see 45-degree bearing edge, 0.3-inch body. I think that covers this drum pretty much. Very little, look at there's hardly any screws in there. If you can see that sign, it's number 28, so I think it's the 28th drum. I don't know if it's the 28th mesquite drum he's made, but that's really special to me. I'm really excited to support an artist, somebody who's, I just picture him working out of his little, shed in the back, his barn, whatever. I don't know if that's true. But he's definitely an artist, and he loves his wood. He loves what he's doing. I feel like he was really cool about it, and the drum sounds great, I think. I played it in some rock and roll, some funk. It's not a small drum. I'm also interested in his 12-inch drums. I know Kenny's got one of those. This is a big drum, 14x7. I have a lot of Superphonics and other. I've got big, almost like bell brass type. The John Tempesta brass 14x7 is a really heavy drum. It sounds really great. This has a little bit warmer tone. I feel. It's got a great backbeat. I really loved it on the funk tunes where it wasn't as busy and you kind of had a heavier backbeat and could lay into it a little bit. I've been kind of playing around with the tuning, so I'll play you a clip where I just have it completely detuned, and then where I'm kind of tuning it up, just kind of playing around with some stuff. You know, it's maybe not perfect. I'm still playing around with it. I want to try changing heads. I think Wagner has dialed in the size, the tube lugs, the rims, the pure sound wires. I think that's all pretty dialed. I wouldn't want to mess with that, but maybe just play around with the top head. So let's check it out. And one final clip of my last gig before quarantine of this beautiful snare behind the kit.